So you're interested in becoming a lived-in color specialist, but you're kind of wondering, well, how do I get those specific clients to find me in 2024 and 2025? So right off the bat, if you're an independent hairstylist, the first thing that I want you to do is get yourself established on Google Maps. If people are new to the area and they're looking for something specific to get done with their hair, one of the first places that they go is Google Maps or Google. And either way, if you are established on Google Maps, you're going to pop up for them. One of the biggest searches ever is balayage and your area. So I can't stress enough how important it is that you're actually discoverable online. Now, if you are working at a commission salon or you are working at a salon where you're not an independent stylist and your salon is not established on Google Maps yet, I would actually go to my owner and ask them, hey, can I help you get this done? Because I really want to help out the salon and help myself bring in some more clients as well. So how you do this is you go to Google Maps and you select add a business. It's going to be easier to do this on a computer or a laptop, but not really on your mobile phone. I mean, I think you can do it on your mobile, but it's just gonna have a lot more options and be a little bit easier on your desktop or your laptop. So I recommend doing it that way. But you're going to go to Google Maps and select add a business. And what's going to happen is they're going to send you something in the mail to the business just to verify that you are in fact a real location. And then what you do is you just kind of plug in that number when it asks you for it. That's how you get established on Google Maps, and that's how you actually get a listing on Google Maps. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that you fill out as much information as possible, because Google is constantly indexing all that information that you put on your Google Maps. So if the information that you're providing on your Google Maps profile matches the search queries that people are looking up when they're new to the area, you are going to be moved to the top of the search. This is called search engine optimization, and it's one of the most important things that you can do to make sure that you are discoverable. Now, this process of getting yourself listed on Google Maps can take a couple of weeks because you are waiting for them to mail you something to verify your location and things like that. So in the meantime, let's talk about Instagram. Get yourself established on Instagram, get yourself an account if you don't have one already. And what you're going to do is go into the back end of your Instagram account and you are going to change your name field. In the name field, a lot of people just put their name, right? It's very intuitive. But what you need to know about the name field specifically is that it is indexed by Google. So when people are searching on Google and you have some key phrases in your name field, that specific box is going to be indexed by Google, and it's going to allow you to come up in search results even when someone is not on Instagram. So very important that you put something specific to your specialty and your location in your name field. Let me know if you're going to do those two things right now in the comment section below. Promise me that you're going to do it. By the way, hi, my name is Lauren, and I just love to help hairstylists grow their career and grow their brand, get to that six-figure mark so that you can really enjoy your career and enjoy the clients that you're working on. My favorite thing in the world is to see hairstylists, who a lot of us have very low confidence. I love to see them grow in their confidence and just really start to love what they do. Some people have been in the industry for a few years and they're just kind of insecure and not sure how they're ever going to make it. Some people have been in the industry for years and they just feel kind of stuck and not inspired anymore. I like to reverse all of that with these YouTube videos here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Click the like button if this is resonating with you. And once you've done those 2 SEO tactics that I recommend, you're going to need 3 things in order to actually build your clientele. I'm going to tell you those 3 things right now, and then we're going to dive deeper into each one of those things, what they actually mean and how to accomplish them in this video today. So number 1 is you need to build trust. Number 2, you need to have an intentional portfolio. Number 3 is you need to be constantly educating and inspiring clients. Now, these may seem obvious, but sometimes it's really hard to do this practically. So in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how you can go about doing this in 2024 and the following year, 2025. So number 1 was you want to build trust. And the key is to do this before they ever actually sit in your chair. So how are you going to do this if they've never met you? Primarily, you're going to do this by making sure that you are addressing all of their desires, all of their needs, and all of their concerns. And you're essentially going to be helping them with their problems before they ever come to see you. You can see how this is going to start to build trust. They start to become more interested in booking with you specifically. I'll give you an example. Maybe you hear a lot from clients that they like to have some brightness around the face, but they're so over that really chunky money piece and they don't like that it stands out so much. So in your marketing, maybe you do a few posts that are explaining how you specifically approach the face framing and how you do it in a way that's more blended and grows out well and doesn't feel so bold that it's just like the centerpiece of the entire look. So from that example, you could probably see that the best way to build trust with the specific clientele that you're looking for, which is lived-in clients, you have to know your audience really, really well. You don't want to just put out things on your Instagram and expect your ideal clients to find you. You have to really know them. Just think about any relationship. You're able to give better gifts. You're able to have deeper relationships with people that you know really, really well. So your homework is to really get to know and understand your ideal clients. This is how you're going to communicate trust with them effectively. When you're able to do this, you're never gonna struggle with what to post or how to market or what exactly you should say because you know them. The best form of marketing that you can ever do that will never make you feel sleazy is to just simply be helpful and relatable to your ideal clients. So I wanna give you a few prompts and questions that you can ask yourself and go through to make sure that you understand your ideal clients very well so that you can then market to them more effectively. So question number 1 is, what service do you wanna do more of? What makes you happy to do? What do you get the most pride and joy from doing? And for me, it's lived in color. And for you, you're trying to get into lived in color, so you might write that down. It's so important that you know like the overall goal that you are trying to achieve. The second thing that you want to ask yourself is, for the people who are wanting looks like this, why do they want looks like this? That's one thing that you really want to know about your ideal clients, because if you know why, then you're able to make sure that you include those things in your marketing and in your posts. You'll never have to worry about what to post again if you know why they want looks like this. And sometimes they're not going to tell you exactly why. Sometimes it's just they want to make sure that they're on trend and that they're not out of place. Sometimes it's a simple reason as that. Sometimes it's they are sick of coming in every 6 weeks for getting their hair done. They want to be able to enjoy the look that they get for a lot longer. And of course, this is something that makes clients want to pay more. If they start after 2 weeks wishing they could come in sooner because their highlights are already starting to show grow out, that's a concern that you want to address in your marketing and show how you overcome that problem. So getting to the why of why they are looking for a lived-in color service is going to really help you in your marketing and make sure that you are talking to the correct people. If you are just talking about how you do all these shag haircuts and vibrant colors, someone who's looking for lived-in color, that's not really gonna resonate with them. So I always recommend that you just kind of stick to one specialty or one topic for at least like a month or two, just to try to hone in those clients if that's who you're trying to work with. Another thing that is really helpful to know is, what do a lot of these clients do for work? This is going to give you some insight as to the why in the question before, why they want more of lived-in color rather than traditional services. And this next one is really key, and a lot of people just struggle with this one, but you want to know the key details that are really important to clients. Some people kind of overlook this a little bit and they kind of see clients as picky, but if you want to really resonate with your ideal clients who want lived-in color, you want to go deeper into those details, deeper into those picky little things that are really, really important to them. And you want to just understand them better. Rather than writing them off as some picky client, you want to understand them better so that you can deliver that and they will choose you and they will pay more. And then the last one is, what are the small details about the experience with working with you that they can't live without? I'll tell you from experience, what people love about me and why my clients came to me is because they could tell that I genuinely cared about the outcome. I wasn't rushing from client to client. I wasn't simply trying to sell them upsells to help my overall bottom line number. They trusted that I was always giving them advice to help them reach their specific goals. They also loved that I was confident in what I was saying and in the advice that I was giving. They also loved that I came with a positive attitude. I don't immediately start talking about all my troubles in life to my clients. I don't unload on them. I immediately come with a positive attitude and I try to make them feel good during their service. And those things have nothing to do with hair, but those are details about the experience that they feel like they can't live without. It's not the fancy coffee. I mean, you could serve champagne. I used to do that as well, but it's not those things. Those things are nice, but the things that they can't live without are really going to be your attitude, your confidence, and your willingness to truly help them. If really understanding your ideal client for lived-in color is something that you struggle with a little bit, or you just kind of need more details about, I have another video up here that is going to help you with that. You can click that and watch that after you watch this one. Okay, so the second thing that you need to be able to do is build an intentional portfolio. And I say intentional because most stylists just take pictures of their work and post it on Instagram, and they wonder why they are not getting more lived-in clients. If you are trying to get lived-in clients, you need to do lived-in content. That means for a month or two, I recommend that you just basically only put out live-in content. You don't put out shags and crazy, fun colors. Put out the lived-in content. Now, a lot of people object to this and they say, well, I like to specialize in everything. I like to do everything. But lived-in color clients, people who are wanting a specific look, they don't want somebody who specializes in everything, because the likelihood of someone being really good and understanding all the details of every single type of look is very low. It may be true that you are actually a jack of all trades and master of all of them, but the majority of people just don't believe that. So at least for a month or two, put out lived-in content, and you wanna build a specific lived-in portfolio. So what are you saying with this content? You're not just putting, images and videos up. You wanna actually say something with the content that you are putting out. One of the best things that you can do is talk about the problems clients have with traditional services and position lived-in color as the solution. So here's a great example of this. Maybe you do a post of a lived-in color that you did, and in the caption or on the on-screen text of the reel, you talk about that specific client who really wants to be blonde, but they feel like they can't be blonde anymore because they've tried it in the past and it always results in just so much damage, and they just won't tolerate that just to be blonde. So in your marketing, you're talking about how to protect fragile blonde hair, how to prevent it from going brassy, what you do specifically that maybe other people don't do throughout the service, that protects the hair and ensures that you are keeping the integrity as best you possibly can. Now, a lot of people may do the same things, but not everybody talks about it. So that's why it's very important that you know your ideal clients, you know what their problems are, and you are talking about it. And you're talking about it a lot, because that keeps you top of mind when they are thinking about those problems. And people think about their hair problems all of the time. So you wanna make sure that you're top of mind when they begin looking for a solution. So in the beginning, maybe you have built an entire clientele that doesn't really include lived-in clients, and you're trying to kind of break into the lived-in world because that can make you really good money. It can be a lot more fulfilling than just doing quick services. So what do you do to actually break into that? It can be difficult because you want to make sure that you're booked and busy all the time. You don't want to neglect your clientele. You don't want to raise prices crazy and, just really shake things up for your clientele to the point where they just want to go somewhere else. So what I suggest is for a period of time focusing on doing content models. And I talk about this all the time. I have a great video that'll teach you exactly how to do this and talk about why this works right up here if you want to check that out as well. But essentially what you are doing is basically creating a separate little business. Like if you're trying to do lived-in color, but you haven't really done that for years and you're trying to break into that, I want you to think of this as essentially building up another small business on the side. That's going to be very lucrative, so it's absolutely worth it. It does mean that you want to create space and time in your schedule to build this new business up. And working on models is by far the best way to do this. I moved to a brand new state, built up my clientele in 12 weeks without any clients to refer me out, and I was able to build a full clientele in 12 weeks, and I made 6 figures my first year. So again, I have a great video on how to do that, and that'll be right up here. Now here's one of the most important things I will ever say. The worst thing that you can ever do as a stylist who's trying to go is to wait for clients to be doing beautiful hair regularly. First of all, it's really bad for your mindset, and I think that's something that is not addressed enough, is when your mindset is starting to struggle, it's usually because you're slow or you're not making enough money. And the way around that is to be doing what you got into this industry to be doing, is to be doing beautiful work and staying inspired. If you want to feel confident and proud of your work regularly, you need to be regularly putting out beautiful work, even if you don't have clients. And the second thing, which is extremely important, is the fact that nobody wants to go to a hairstylist that's not busy. They want to go to a hairstylist that is always creating, always putting out inspiration, always educating. So if you see a slow week coming up, don't wait for clients to book last minute. Don't be so open that clients could just book a day in advance. Make yourself busy and work on models. Oh no, maybe a client can't come in because because, the day before you decided to book a model. That's okay. It will build desire, and they will make sure to book ahead of time in the future if they really care about coming to you specifically. This is called scarcity. If something is less available, people tend to want it more. Again, you can check out my model video by clicking the button up here. This video right here goes even more in depth on that topic. So the third thing is educating your clients. A lot of times we think that clients just want to bring in a photo and for us to just replicate this exactly. And sometimes that's true. They want you to just be able to do exactly what this look is and no questions asked, and that's it. But a lot of times what they're really looking for is for you to be thinking ahead for them, you to know all the consequences of achieving this look, what they can expect if they achieve this look, what are some of the pitfalls of moving toward this look, and how you're going to overcome them. They want to know that you are thinking about everything so that you can best help them achieve the results that they are after. One of the worst feelings a client can ever have is when they go in thinking they want this look and the stylist just says, okay, yeah, let's do it, without really talking through all of the consequences, all of the benefits, all of the downsides. And they get this look done and they realize there's no way they're going to ever maintain it, or they don't like it after a few washes. This is one of the worst feelings a client could ever have, and you want to help them avoid experiences like that. This is the key to working your way into six-figure hairstylist territory. Not just simply taking orders, but taking time to understand the client and helping guide them to the direction that you understand that they really want to go. When you are constantly educating and inspiring your clients in this way and guiding them to the direction that they want to go with their hair, this is how you are able to build trust again before they ever sit in your chair. And you can do this education process through, of course, social media, so that way you can have daily interactions with your ideal clients, and then of course through consultations. So in your social media posts, maybe every 3 posts, try to get somebody in for a consultation. If you are new and you are building up your lived-in client business, get as many consultations as you have. This is going to give you a lot of practice with getting to know your ideal clients, which was number one of the most important things you could do. So you really understand all the details and the desires, all their concerns. You can do this by doing just a lot of consultations. And also, it's an opportunity for you to educate them. Sometimes once they hear something that they've learned from you, they don't want to go anywhere else because they don't think anybody else is going to be able to understand them the way that you did and be able to give them the best advice the way that you can. One of the most important things that you can educate your clients about as well is your individual philosophy about certain aspects of doing their hair. If you have an opinion that goes kind of counter to what most stylists are doing, well, if you share this, this is how you stand out from the rest of the competition in your area. So for example, I have a conviction that I don't believe people need to come in every 6 weeks for a haircut. I think some people do. In some situations that's best for, but not every situation. So I would always make sure to, in my consultations and in my marketing online, to express that, I don't really think you need to come in every 6 weeks. I think, for each individual, it can be different. And I would say the different situations where I would recommend 6 weeks, and then the situations where I would recommend a year. And for a lot of people, they've never heard this before because everybody's always trying to do what they learned in school, which is get them booked every 6 weeks. So if you could provide some helpful information that's presenting yourself as someone who actually cares about them as an individual and not just your bottom line, share that with them. This is going to build so much trust and make them want to come see you specifically. I'd love to get a conversation going in the comment section. So if you have an education topic that you're thinking about while watching this video, or that you just think about anytime, leave it in the comment sections. Let's get a conversation going, and everybody will have a lot of prompts to pull from when they're trying to educate their clients as well. So what is the best way to actually practically accomplish the things that I've addressed in this video? So some of these things can be accomplished, of course, through word of mouth and through your consultations, but the reality is a lot of these things are going to happen by having an online presence. Now, I know a lot of you hate the idea of doing social media. It's hard to come up with ideas. You feel like you never get any traction. I totally understand that. The algorithm is crazy. It's always changing. And it feels like it's something like, why am I even doing this? You might feel like social media is never going to work for you because it's kind of like 1 in a million that you ever go viral. This is not true. You don't have to go viral in order for social media to do amazing things for you. I was able to start to build my business really quickly with the help of social media. It's not everything, with the help of social media before I even had thousands of followers. So if this feels like you're kind of struggling in that area, but you do realize that it is important, I want you to check out the video on the screen right here. It's going to give you a social media strategy and game plan to help you understand exactly how to use social media so that you're never wasting your time. It's always working for you instead of you feeling like you're putting all this work into something and never getting anything in return. So click the video on the screen right now. And again, my name is Lauren. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you over there.